You know, for this video, we were asked to um, discuss the later chapters in medical apartheid, along with the Henrietta Lacks story. And I think as you dive deeper into both of these books, you kind of gain a different perspective from each one. Um, with the medical apartheid, you kind of get into some deeper, more I don't know what word to put it, like I guess just eye opening things that really went on in the medical field. Like you've been reading the whole time. I mean, medical apartheid has completely opened my eyes to what was really going on um, in the medical field. And with Henrietta Lacks, you kind of gain a better understanding for um, the people, um, the people that were affected, as in her family, by some of these things that ended up happening to her, along with the research that continued to happen because of the HeLa cells and some of the things that they found by doing research with her. Um, you know, as I look back on it, I couldn't get past a quote that was the opening quote in chapter 14 of Medical Apartheid. Um, the chapter was titled "The Machine Age," and this was the quote that was the start of the chapter, and it reads, "It was cheaper to use niggers than cats because they were everywhere and cheap experimental animals." Now, if this doesn't infuriate you as a human being, doesn't matter if you're white, black, yellow, brown, blue. If this doesn't infuriate you as a human being, I honestly, truly do not know what will. Um, you know, this shows the innate um, just stupidity that people had to say that an African American were cheap experimental animals. Cheap experimental animals. I mean, with everything going on now, if you read that and you think that this is, I mean, that's just, it's amazing to me. But to get back on the book, Medical Apartheid, chapter 14, it tells the story of James Quinn. And, it's talking about how um, Quinn reportedly agreed to be implanted with an artificial heart that was reportedly supposed to allow him to move freely, and it was his last chance at a meaningful life. After he got the heart, James Quinn died 5 months later, um, and or not even 5 months. He died a month later from a stroke, and this is I want to do more research on this because I mean, it talks about how he was laying brain dead, and the doctors just explained to his wife that that meant he was dead, which it doesn't. Brain dead means your brain is gone, but your body could still be, you know what I mean? But, um, it's truly sad to know that a man had to go through that when he was promised a certain surgery. A month later, he dies from complications, and his life is almost just it's over. Like he doesn't get a second chance. He doesn't. Um, he dies, and I mean, these medical physicians are required to save lives. They're required to help people, and that's not what they were doing. Um, in the Henrietta Lacks story, we get to um, look at the um, look at and discuss. I think it was chapter. Let me see. The Secret of Immortality. So chapter 27. Um, and it explains how, like, after 30 years of research, um, you know, they were trying to figure out basically why her cells were alive. And her family had different perceptions on it. One person thought that it was just something that was cursed in their family, and that she was different on a spiritual level. Another thought that she went to a beach and had something called, which is why she got the cervical cancer in the first place. Um, and um, her case was different because it was something that nobody had ever seen before, and these HeLa cells ended up leading to the figuring out to infect the HeLa cells with the HIV cells, and ultimately that created a different type of breakthrough in the medical field that allowed for scientists to farther um, study DNA and figure out exactly the depths of what these HeLa cells were. And I mean, it was extraordinary that the study continued 30 years after her death. I look forward to doing more research on both of these topics and to ultimately figure out kind of more in tune to what was really going on. And I want to do research after these books are done and know where these people's families are at, and kind of look at the long line of history of kind of where these people are at now.